Hi everyone, Heather here with PersephoneReturns.com, and I am here to bring you your forecast for the new moon in Leo for October, 19th, 2017. And I originally tried to do this video live, and my OBS, my encoder that I use to stream live on YouTube was like cutting out and things were just not going well, so I decided to cut it short because I had some things to do and then come back to it and do a recorded version. So I apologize that this isn't live like I promised, but I'm still going to be bringing you the information. And so also the lighting right now, because the sun is already set, I don't have quite the influx of natural light that I normally have from the window that you can't see but is right in front of me. So I apologize for that. Hopefully you can see all right. It's a little grainy, but for the most part, I think this should work. And so this is a really exciting new moon in the sign of Libra. It's very interesting. A lot of different things are going on with this new moon. The main thing and the first thing that I noticed when I looked at this is that the sun and moon are conjunct, which is what a new moon is. It's the sun conjunction to the moon, which happens once every lunar cycle. And this is a time of new beginnings, renewal, where we can start something new, start fresh, do something, just revitalize this area of our life that's being affected by the new moon. And this is a really good time to go inward, to set intentions for the lunar month ahead. So for the next 28 days, and to really figure out how you're going to be able to work with this energy, because this is like a renewal and a rebirth and a letting go and a moving forward in a lot of different ways. And so in Libra, it's about coming back into balance, coming back into harmony. It's new beginnings in relationships. It's new beginnings in any sort of fairness and equality that you need to come into in your life. It's, new beginnings with contracts. In any sort of one-on-one situation. So, and it's also, it involves beauty, right? Libra is a very aesthetic sign. So, it involves beauty, it involves harmony, it involves balance, and it involves relationships in particular as well. So this new moon in particular, though, is a little bit different and a little bit interesting because you have Uranus in the sign of Aries in opposition exact to this new moon, almost to the minute. It's like literally 4 minutes off from being exact, which is crazy. So this is a really tight opposition. And whenever you have Uranus in the mix, it brings the exact opposite of what Libra wants, right? Libra wants balance and harmony and equality and things to be nice and flowing evenly, and it doesn't want a lot of, craziness and chaos. And Uranus, it brings disruption, it brings change, it brings disharmony, it brings things that are new and innovative as well. But it has to bring that through some sort of disruptions, through some sort of change, through some sort of circumstances that are out of the blue, crazy, out of nowhere, unusual. So this is a very unusual energy where things that are a little bit strange might be going on for a lot of us right now. And in general, what this symbolizes and what this shows us is that through this new moon, we need to integrate this opposition, right? This opposition with Uranus. We have to integrate change. We have to integrate disruption. And we have to utilize that in order to come back into balance, to have these new beginnings that bring greater harmony and greater reciprocity throughout all of our lives. And so this is a really powerful, really potent energy. And it's going to shake things up a little bit. It's a little disruptive. It's not necessarily going to be the easiest energy for a lot of people, especially those who are having Uranus in any sort of difficult aspect with any of their personal planets. This could cause you to need to make a really clean break, a really big change, or it can cause really new, exciting things to come in, but it's going to be disruptive in some sort of way. It's going to disrupt your sense of equilibrium. It's going to disrupt your sense of balance. It's going to disrupt your sense of, feeling like everything is flowing nicely in the way that you might want it to, because it's really showing us that there's something that needs to change in order to come back into balance. So wherever you feel frustration in your life, especially over these next couple of days and these next couple of weeks, wherever you feel like something is out of balance and it feels unsettled, it feels chaotic, it feels uncertain, that's, a lot of this energy. And what it's doing is it's showing us what needs to change through these feelings, right? And if we don't show up to change these things ourselves, then circumstances might show up to change them for us. And so it's always better to sort of be ahead of the game and to be making the changes that you need to make in and of yourself. So that's a lot of what the energy is in terms of just this general feeling of this new moon, which is a really beautiful, really powerful new moon. It's just a little unsettled, a little disruptive, and that's a good thing. I mean, it's change that we need in order to come back into the balance that we need to come back into. So it's good. And so, and if it feels chaotic, if you feel anxious, if there's some sort of again, frustration, that indicates that there's something that needs to change. So just kind of be aware of that, sit with that, and look at what areas are being affected and what areas are sort of bringing about these types of feelings, because that's going to give you a clue into what needs to happen in order to, move forward and have these really wonderful new beginnings that we're about to talk about when we go through all of the signs. And so as I go through the signs, I'm going to keep this really brief, really short, really to the point. I'm just going to talk about, just a few sentences for each sign, like what's going to be coming up, what you can expect, and where you can find renewal. So what it can help you to figure out how to set your intentions for the lunar cycle. It can help you to figure out what energy is about to come up for you. And it can help you to figure out what area is being a little disrupted, and that, this energy needs to be integrated in order to create the change that you need to create. All right. So let's go into this by sign. So for Aries and Aries Rising, so this is actually, let's see here, pull this back up. So this is actually going to be in your 7th house, and the 7th house represents, it's the house of romance, it's the house of partnership, it's the house of close personal relationships, especially relationships in marriage. So this is a new beginning and a renewal of all things in that area. So whatever it is that you want to start over with, whatever it is you want to begin in this area involving marriage, contracts, close personal relationships. Also, if you work with clients one-on-one, this is represented in this house as well. So any sort of close one-on-one relationship or close one-on-one interaction is associated with this 7th house. And so this is where you're going to be coming into this sense of renewal, this new beginning. And the disruption is actually coming from your 1st house. So there could be a disruption in the way that you express yourself. There could be some sort of frustration in trying to sort of act on your own self-interest, act on your will, to portray yourself in the light that you want to be portrayed in. And there's a change that needs to come about, like from you personally. So you need to change yourself in order to create these new beginnings in your relationships. So that's a lot of what the energy is going to be about for you. And then moving on to Taurus and Taurus Rising. So for Taurus Rising people, and always, by the way, check your rising sign first if you know it. In order to figure out your rising sign, you need to know the exact time, placement, and date of your birth. And this is going to be a little bit of a more accurate interpretation. You should also listen for your sun sign too, because that's going to give you sort of another spin on it. Slightly different, but it's still going to be applicable. So if you don't know your rising sign, you can still always listen to your sun sign, and you'll get some good, valuable information out of that. But I just want to always make sure that I point that out in case you're not aware. But so for Taurus Rising, this new moon is going to be in your 6th house. So this is new beginnings in terms of health, in terms of your daily routines, in terms of your work life, and in terms of your work situations. This is a really great time to start a new diet or a nutrition routine and to change things up in terms of your day-to-day experience. And this could bring about some sort of new beginning in your work life, in your work situation. And then there's this disruption that's coming from the 12th house, which is a place that's hidden. So there could be some very internal, very deep frustration that you're dealing with. And it's going to cause you to need to change something deep within yourself. This can also bring really great, like, divine inspiration through dreams. You could have very unusual dreams and very unusual sort of intuitions right now. This could also cause you to want to, like, break free and be in solitude through maybe going off on some sort of trip, or just like leaving or changing something in some sort of way. But in general, that you really need to integrate these two things. So there's some sort of frustration, some sort of disruption coming from your 12th house, which rules secrets, things that are hidden. It rules your space of solitude. It rules, your dreams in the archetypal realm. Places that are hidden too. So it could be a disruption coming from, an institution like a hospital, some sort of asylum, an ashram, like a convent even, all these different things, or even a brothel, all these places, the sacred and the profane, right? 12th house, Pisces, they're all ruled by the 12th house. And so, if those sort of institutions are applicable to you, that could be where the disruption is coming from. But in general, it could be an internal sense of disruption. And so, there's something that needs to be changed deep, deep within yourself in order to move forward with these like new routines that are going to be much better for you, much better for your health and your sanity on a day-to-day basis. All right. And so Gemini and Gemini Rising, this is actually happening in your 5th house. And this is a really beautiful, really great house because it is the house of romance. It's the house of play. It's the house of children. It's the house of, fun and creativity. It's where you express yourself. It's where you express your heart in a way that's creative. It's the house of hobbies and things that you love to do. And so you're having a new beginning and a revival in that area where you can, start something new, start a new project, learn it, like begin a new hobby, have a new romance, renew, your romance and your flame in your current relationships as well. That could be something. But in order to do that, you need to change something in terms of your social networks and who you're surrounding yourself with. So you might need to let go of some friendships. You might have some new friendships that might come in. You might need to look at your friendships in a different way. There's some sort of disruption coming from this area. It could be that there's just like a chaotic, disruptive circumstance in your friendships, and that's causing you to feel like you can't focus on what you love to do in your own creativity and your own self-interest in that way. And really, you need to make some sort of change, make some sort of break in that area in order to be able to do that, because really this is about coming back into harmony and back into balance in your creative self-expression. And, this could also have to do with your relationship with your children too, coming back into balance with that. All right. And then Cancer and Cancer Rising. So for Cancer Rising, this is going to be actually happening in your 4th house of the home and family. And so this is your zone, right? Cancer, the home, family life, what's comfortable, what feels good, how you feel supported and nurtured and all of these wonderful things. And so having this new moon in Libra in your 4th house is a renewal in this area. You might really feel like you want to spend time in comfort and in solitude right now, really, renewing your energy, spending time also in water too, like in a bath or something like that, because you are a Cancer rising. That's a really good ritual for any new moon. But doing things that are nurturing, that are focused on your family life, your home situation. You could be like nesting or like creating, a nicer little space for yourself. It could be that you want to purchase a new home or renew your space in some way, like do some sort of renovation or redecorating. Some sort of change needs to happen, but there's also a change going on in your career situation. And so this disruption in your career can pull you out of this safe, comfortable zone that you want to be in right now, over the course of this week especially. And so making sure that you're taking care of whatever this work situation is, and that you're changing what needs to be changed, and you're letting go of what needs to be let go of, and you're bringing in whatever needs to be renewed. And usually the solution to whatever problem it is when you're dealing with Uranus is something that you've never done before. It's something that's very unusual that you might not have really ever thought of. So it's going to be a new, unique solution. And so by integrating that change, you're going to be able to have this new beginning, this renewal, this harmony, and you're going to come back into balance in your home and family situation, in your home and family life. And so that's a really beautiful energy to start the month with. So long as you can deal with the frustration out in the world, because that's going to be kind of pulling you out of your zone a little bit. And then for Leo and Leo rising, so this is actually going to be in your 3rd house of communication. So this is a new beginning in terms of like learning new skills, day-to-day sort of travel. It rules like cars and things like that. So maybe you're thinking about getting a new vehicle or getting your vehicle serviced, or, getting it repainted or detailed or something. That could be a really good use of this energy. It's also really good for, how I said, learning new skills, with skills that are practical. It's really good for communication too, so new communications. Also renewing your relationship with your community, with your siblings, with your extended family. All these types of things are in the realm of the 3rd house as well. And in the opposition is this 9th house. So there are some like new beliefs and belief systems that you need to bring in. There's some sort of change going on in terms of your belief systems and how you sort of derive meaning and purpose from your day-to-day experience and from your life overall. It's a renewal and a change in terms of your connection with God, with the universe. This could be some sort of disruption in your schooling if you're in the midst of higher education, or some sort of chaotic, disruptive situation that's causing issues with you being able to have this renewal and this rebirth in terms of your communication. This could also be the urge to sort of break free through traveling, so like long distance travel or something like that. So there's a lot of different things going on in this area for you. But in general, really great energy for new beginnings in terms of anything communication, learning new skills, all those types of things that we just talked about. Okay. Virgo and Virgo rising. So this is all going to be going down in your second house. So this is a renewal in terms of your finances. This is going to bring new beginnings and really beautiful situations where you can come back into balance and come back into harmony in terms of your financial situation, your financial status. So this involves your ability to create resources for yourself. This isn't the resources that you gain from other people, because that's the area where the disruption is coming. So there could be some sort of disruption to joint finances if you're married. Maybe your husband gets more money all of a sudden, he gets a raise, or maybe he like loses money or there's some sort of expense. This could also be a disruption that comes from like prior debt, that sort of there's a chaotic situation that comes up. Maybe you have to like borrow money or something along those lines. So you feel like it prevents your ability to create resources for yourself and to have this renewal that you need in the second house area. This is like a new beginning. It's time to start fresh. It's time to start creating wealth for yourself, and to do so in a way that's very balanced. And so that way you can enjoy, you know, these luxuries that, you know, Libra wants to enjoy. You can enjoy things that are beautiful and that are artistic and that are just very, you know, nice to have around. And instead of worrying about scrounging for resources or anything like that. And also balancing your budget right now, that would be really important to do as well. So coming back into your own power in terms of your resources, not allowing yourself to be disempowered by the hold other people have on you in terms of your financial situation. And that includes banks. Okay, so Libra and Libra rising. So this new moon is in your first house. So this is all about you. So this is a renewal in all areas of your life. You know, this is new beginnings in terms of you being able to act on your own self-interest. So this is going to bring a lot of really beautiful benefits for you. You can start a lot of new projects. It's like you're being like reborn and renewed and revitalized in a lot of different ways. And so on the opposite end of the spectrum, you know, this Uranus has been transiting your seventh house for a long time now, but it's being activated with this new moon. So this is some sort of disruption in terms of your relationships. This could be a sudden beginning or a sudden ending in a new relationship, or in an old relationship, or a sudden beginning in a new relationship, some sort of partnership that comes out of nowhere that's really exciting. Or it could be that there's some sort of partnership or some sort of connection you have to someone that's very disruptive and very chaotic, and it causes you to feel unsettled and out of balance. And so this is going to allow you an opportunity to come back into balance, to change whatever needs to be changed in terms of your relationship, so that way you can have better balance and better harmony in terms of your own personal self-expression. So yeah, powerful time. Scorpio and Scorpio rising. So this is a new beginning in terms of, what do we do here? In terms of your so this is your, sorry, this is your 12th house. So this is a new beginning in terms of your internal nature. This is a huge purge, a huge letting go, a huge time period of cutting ties with things that are disrupting your day-to-day experience, that are causing you to feel unsettled and to feel like, you know, things are chaotic for you and in your day-to-day life. And that could have to do with your work life, your work experience, all these different things, because Uranus is in your sixth house, right? So there's disruptions to your health, there's disruptions to your routines, and it feels like you can't go into this space of solitude and peace and, you know, contemplation because of all this energy going on in your sixth house. So really this is a renewal and a coming back into harmony in terms of your internal self, your internal nature. And this is cutting ties and cutting cords with things right now. Even though it's a new moon, so it's a renewal, it's also a letting go and a purging of any baggage, any karma with anything that's not serving you right now. This is a really good time to cut cords, cut ties. You know, the 12th house is the house of hidden enemies. So, you know, letting go of people in your life that are sort of working behind the scenes to sabotage you, letting go of relationships that are not serving you. And letting go of routines. Like you're going to have to create new, better routines for yourself on a day-to-day basis with Uranus in your 6th house. And that includes like health. So thinking about new ways to improve your health that are innovative, that are exciting, and that are different. So that is Scorpio. Sagittarius and Sagittarius Rising. So this is going to be in your 11th house. So this is new beginnings in terms of your friends and your social networks. This could be, bringing in new friendships. This could be renewing old friendships. This could be creating an entire new social network. This could be doing like philanthropic, I can never say that word properly, humanitarian types of work or something like that. New beginnings in terms of like charity and giving back and doing things that help the whole of humanity. That's a lot of what the 11th house is about. And on the opposite end of the spectrum, there's a disruption coming from the 5th house. So it feels like your ability to create what you want to create in terms of your hobbies, the things that you love to do, the things that you do to express your heart creatively, there's a disruption in that area that's sort of preventing you from focusing fully and completely on your friend groups and your social networks, because this could be a very social time for you, especially the first couple weeks of this month where you're going to be socializing and connecting with a lot of different people. This is a really good time for networking, but you need to sort of change something in terms of like your romantic life, in terms of like your relationship with your children, if you have children, or something with your hobbies, with your interests that's not working out that you might need to like let go of or change, or bring in something new. So maybe new forms of creative self-expression that'll allow you to feel more whole, more complete, and it'll give you more freedom to sort of integrate with the group, with the hive mind, right? All right. Capricorn and Capricorn Rising. This new moon is in your 10th house, and that's a good place for Capricorn, right? Capricorns, rule the 10th house because it's about your career, your responsibilities, and your public reputation. So there's a big renewal coming in this area for you. And so this is a really good time if you want to start a new career, if you want to plan new projects in your career life, if you want to just have some sort of renewal or revival in terms of your career situation. But there's something in the home and family situation that's disrupting your ability to really focus on your career right now and to focus on your public reputation right now, because there's something sort of chaotic, unexpected that's happening right now that's sort of shaking things up and rattling your foundation. And so when your foundation is unstable, you're not really able to put your energy out into the world as much as you would like to. So there's something that needs to be changed in terms of your home and your family life, and you need to do something in a completely new way that you've never thought of before. And that's going to free up the energy that you need to come back into balance in terms of your work life, because I know that you like to work, you like to be responsible, you're a Capricorn, and having this sort of unsettled energy at the foundation of your chart and the foundation of your life, which is your home and your family, is not going to really help you in doing that. So change needs to happen. Okay, almost there. Aquarius and Aquarius Rising. So this new moon will actually be in your 9th house. And so this is renewal, new beginnings in terms of your belief systems. This could be long distance travel. This could be in terms of like higher education and exploring new philosophies or getting a new teacher, anything along those lines. And then on the opposite end, there's a disruption coming through communication. So it could be that there's a lot of frantic, chaotic communication coming your way. People are trying to get a hold of you. You have too many text messages, too many emails, too many mundane day-to-day bureaucratic activities like paperwork and things like that. And it's preventing you from really exploring the deeper, esoteric topics. It's preventing you from exploring things that have more meaning. So really doing something new and innovative and changing the way that you deal with your day-to-day communication experience, so that way you can focus more on the bigger picture. My dog's down there all excited right now. And so Pisces and Pisces Rising, this new moon for you is in your 8th house. And so the 8th house, this is new beginnings in terms of personal empowerment. This is you facing your fears, getting over things that might feel difficult or unnerving for you. This is also going really deeply, going inward, to discover your true nature, just to look at your vulnerabilities, to look at the things you don't necessarily always want to look at. This is also exploring deep esoteric topics, things that are very taboo. This is renewal in terms of your sex life and your sexual expression. And, the disruption is actually coming from, oh, also 8th house, renewal and new beginnings in terms of joint finances. So this could be that you have a new source of income that's coming to you from the outside that's not through your own labor and your own work. It could be that, you know, there's you're in a marriage and your partner gets more money, or you get like a loan or something, some sort of income that comes from the outside, or some sort of money or finances that come from the outside. And the disruption is in your 2nd house. So this just shows that your finances have been a little bit chaotic and shaky. And that prevents you from really focusing on the deeper work and the deeper issues. And it causes you to sort of face your fears a little bit in terms of your own stability and your ability to create financial stability and success for yourself. And so there's something you need to change. You need to do something in a completely new way in terms of your finances. And this could bring like unexpected money too into your 2nd house as well. That could absolutely be a thing. But whatever comes, it's going to be disruptive in some sort of way. And so you might have probably already been experiencing that for the last few years. So creating new innovative solutions, and this is going to highlight that. So new ways to create income for yourself. This could also be income that comes through the internet, through using technology, anything along those lines. So like maybe working in the tech business or something, you know. So yeah, so that is all 12 of the signs. Again, I apologize for the lighting and all of that. Did the best I could, but I hope you all have a really wonderful new moon. If you have any questions, feel free to comment below. And, you know, this was just a very general reading for all of the 12 signs. If you want a more specific, personalized reading, I'm always more than happy to do that. And you can find me at the link below to book a reading. And I will see you guys next time. Thank you so much. Bye.